Hi, it's Gene retired in Mexico, and we ask one question on this channel if you're new, which is do they write them and sing them like they used to? So a lot of people, young and old, they think the old music is better, but I'm not so sure. And today, instead of championing music from the 21st century, we're doing this series where we're taking some pot shots at the 70s and doing a worst song tournament, 64 songs from the 1970s from the pop charts. So just a reminder, a couple things. One is this is just for fun. Okay. Just for fun. And the second thing is that it's just my opinion. Okay. So, and one guy told me I should do a little more research. Yeah, it was a fair comment, but it is a reaction channel. So I do just a little quick perusal. And today we're going to do four songs and we'll pit them in pairs. So the first one is going to be really interesting because it's two songs about oh, being downtrodden, I guess. One is Cher, Half Breed, and the other is Janis Ian at 17. And then we'll follow that up with Leif Garrett and Kenny Rogers. So that's what's on board today. So let's go ahead and get into it. And again, this is just for fun, folks. Okay, here's Cher, Half Breed.
My father married up your Cherokee. My mother's people were ashamed of me. The Indians said that I was white by law. The white man always called me Indian squaw. Half-breed, that's all I ever heard. Half-breed, how I learned to hate the word. Half-breed, she's no good to warn. Both sides were against me since the day I was born. We never settled, went from town to town. When you're not welcome, you don't hang around. The other children always laughed at me. Give her a feather, she's a Cherokee. Half-breed, that's all I ever heard. Half-breed, how I learned to hate the word. Half-breed, she's no good to warn. Both sides were against me since the day I was born. We weren't accepted and I felt ashamed. 19, I left them, tell me who's to blame. My life since then has been from man to man, but I can't run away from what I am. Half-breed, that's all I ever heard. Half-breed, how I learned to hate the word. Half-breed, she's no good to warn. Both sides were against me since the day I was born. Half-breed, that's all I ever heard. Half-breed, how I learned to hate the word. Half-breed, she's no good to warn. Both sides were against me since the day I was born.
Okay, not as bad as I remembered. This and Gypsy Tramps and Thieves are two Cher songs that I never liked, but I do like some Cher. I mean, she did a Bob Dylan cover. I think it was All I Really Want to Do. It was really, really good. And then of course, I Believe was a great dance track. And so sometimes I like her, sometimes I like her. But good singing. So I just did a real quick perusal on this. The Wrecking Crew is who plays on this, and then they put some strings on it. The production, I'm surprised. It's a little not. tinny. I was going to say muddy, but more just sort of tinny and trebly. So I'm kind of surprised at that. The lyrics aren't as bad as I remember. Some people criticized it for being non-indigenous people writing the song, and then you had she didn't perform it for 25 years, so that I read that too. But the main thing that's still kind of dated is this uh, faux Native American thing. I've listened to a lot of Native American music actually, because I listen to music from all over the world, and true Native American music's really cool. And this here is kind of Hollywood, right? So that's it. So I'll keep the comments short. Let's go ahead and listen to Janice Ian at 17. Here we go. Yeah, kind of a bossa nova beat.
I learned the truth at 17, that love was meant for beauty queens. In high school, girls with clear skin smiles who married young and then retired. The Valentines I never knew, the Friday night charades of youth, were spent on one more beautiful. At 17 I learned the truth. And those of us with ravaged faces, lacking in the social graces, desperately remained at home, inventing lovers on the phone who called to say, "Come dance with me," and murmured vague obscenities. It isn't all it seems. It's 17. A brown-eyed girl in hand-me-downs, whose name I never could pronounce, said, "Pity please the ones who serve. They only get what they deserve." And the rich relation hometown queen marries into what she needs, with a guarantee of company and haven for the elderly. Remember those who win the game, lose the love they sought to gain, in debentures of quality and dubious integrity. The small town eyes will gape at you in dull surprise when payment due exceeds accounts received. It's 17.
This trumpet part.
To those of us who knew the pain of Valentines that never came, and those whose names were never called when choosing sides for basketball. It was long ago and far away. The world was younger than today, and dreams were all they gave for free to ugly duckling girls like me. We all play the game when we dare to cheat ourselves 17.
Okay, so normally, well, first of all, let's talk about the music. This is really well produced and has a great bass line, and you can just really hear the fingers across the strings of the guitar. It's really cool, and that very tasteful trumpet solo in there. So, sonically, this is really great. And normally, this is the kind of song, normally the kind of song that I hate because I can understand why some people dislike this song because they hear self-pity in it. But I think it's just so intelligent, and the rhymes and the word choices are so good, that I think she pulls it off. She's singing, this "Woe Is Me" song, right? But it puts me in the character's shoes, the narrator's shoes. And I thought, and I think to myself, oh, it must be awful, in a world where looks are a currency. So I think it's a really sensitive song, pretty well done. I didn't used to really like this song, but it's grown on me over the years. And yeah, I think this is an easy choice. I think we're going to advance the Cher. The Cher isn't produced as well. It's got that Hollywood boom, uh, not tom, I guess, just not sure what you call that sort of Indian drum thing or indigenous drum, but yeah, it's just, and then Cher oversins a little bit, and this is a nice understated vocal. But wow, just to listen to the production back to back, this is a much better produced song. So that's it. So now we're going to do Leif Garrett, who was kind of a teen idol in the 70's, a song called I Was Made for Dancin'. And off the top of my head, I don't remember this song. These last two by Cher and Janis Ian, I know I've heard many times. And then we're going to follow that up with Kenny Rogers' Coward of the County. So we got a country song in here. One of my friends mentioned Donna Fargo, thought I should put her in there. That was a good suggestion. But so Leif Garrett and Kenny Rogers, let's go ahead and play these. Hopefully, no ads. Disco, okay.
Time I want more.
little preview. So how could I not have heard that song before? I don't recognize it at all. So yeah, I didn't dislike it, but there's much better disco. Whether it be the Tramps or the Bee Gees or whoever. I mean, this was pretty average, pretty generic. He doesn't have a great voice. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. If you back in the 70's, if you were a dance club, I'm sure that came on. You'd enjoy it. Like I was kind of bopping to it, but there's certainly nothing remarkable about that song. Nothing lyrically or it just has a good beat. That's all. It's like what was that? Dick Clark's American Bandstand. I give it a 78. It has a good beat and you can dance to it. So it's about it. So let's go ahead and listen to Kenny Rogers. We clipped the first second or two. I hope you don't mind. Here we go. Coward of the County.
Everyone considered him the coward of the county. He never stood one single time to prove the county wrong. His mama called him Tommy, but folks just called him Yellow. Something always told me they were reading Tommy wrong. Now he was only 10 years old when his daddy died in prison. And I took care of Tommy 'cause he was my brother's son. I still recall the final words my brother said to Tommy. Son, my life is over, but yours has just begun. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now it don't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. And I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. There's someone for everyone. Tommy's love was Becky. In her arms he didn't have to prove he was a man. One day while he was working, the Gatlin boys came calling. They took turns at Becky, and there were 3 of them. Tommy opened up the door, saw his Becky crying. The torn dress, the shattered look was more than he could stand. He reached above the fireplace, took down his daddy's picture. As the tears fell on his daddy's face, I heard these words again. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now it don't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. And I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. The Gatlin boys just laughed at him when he walked into the bar room. One of them got up and met him halfway across the floor. Tommy turned around, they said, "Hey, look, old Yellow's leaving." But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. 20 years of crawling was bottled up inside him. He wasn't holding nothing back, he let him have it all. Tommy left the bar room, not a Gatlin boy was standing. He said, "This one's for Becky," as he watched the last one fall. And I heard him say, "I promised you, Dad, not to do the things you've done. I'll walk away from trouble when I can. Now please don't think I'm weak, I couldn't turn the other cheek. Papa, I sure hope you understand. Sometimes you gotta fight when you're a man. Everyone considered him the coward of the county.
Okay. And I've heard that song before, but I never really listened that carefully to the lyrics. And yeah, I'm a little conflicted on this because there's a kernel of a really good story in there. You know, violence versus nonviolence. That's not a bad subject, actually. The question is the treatment. So, like the Leif Garrett, there's just like there's better disco, there's a better country. Um, you listen to uh, things like there's country songs that are really lyrically sophisticated, and I don't know, this one's a little simplistic, and yeah, that's horrible. Talking about a sexual assault from three men, and so he takes revenge, but I don't know, it just reminds me too much of like a Charles Bronson film, all those revenge movies. And ultimately, those are kind of boring, in my opinion. So, yeah, I remember being stuck one time watching, it was a Charles Bronson revenge movie, but it was a sequel, it was part two. Yeah, it was horrible. Um, this isn't bad, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of simplistic. Really hard to pick one here between the Leaf Garrett and the Kenny Rogers, different styles. But I guess the Leaf Garrett at least is fun. I mean, he's not a great singer, but at least it's fun and get out on the dance floor and dance to it. This one here, I know there's just some awkwardness in this song. It could be done better, I think. Um, but I don't hate either one of these songs. So let's. Uh, The chorus on the Leaf Garrett was not very good. I kind of liked that song okay until the chorus came in with the ooh ooh oohs and all that. And man, this is a real toss up. I almost should flip a coin on this one. But let's take the Kenny Rogers and move that forward. But this one's really narrow by a sliver. So, and I don't hate either one of these songs. So, anyway, let me know your opinion. If you like what we're doing, seeing you reacting to the new music, or in this case, having a little fun with the old music, hit that like or subscribe button. And as we say here in Bonita, Mexico, where they were shooting off fireworks tonight, buen dia.